I used to work for the courts in the post-sentencing unit. Basically, folks would come out of court, pay their fines, sign up for diversion or jail time. The paperwork was always completed at that time. Thus, it could take a while with each client depending on the complexity of their sentence. We always had a line of people waiting to speak with one of 8 clerks. Management had to put up several signs telling people to wait to be called. Most people honored it except the Karens of this world. One day, Karen comes up to me as I am finishing up paperwork from the person before her. The person had left, but I needed to do a few things before forwarding the paperwork to the jail. I asked Karen to return to the front of the line because I didn't call her up. She doesn't go back. She asks my coworker sitting next to me what my name is and where can she find my supervisor. My coworker caves to her demands and she's off to the admin area to seek out my sup. I get called in to see my soup about 15 minutes later, and she shows me the written complaint Karen wrote. It was incoherent and disorganized. Definitely not the writing of a stable person. My sup told me since it's in writing, she needed to forward it to HR and that she would need my side of the story. I agree. I wasn't worried about it and was happy to explain my side in a coherent fashion. While I was in with my sup, Karen's finally taking care of her paperwork. I return to my station and Karen asks to get security because she feels threatened by me. Security basically laughed at her and told her they didn't think I was a threat. HR dismissed her complaint as I acted according to policy. She didn't remember me the next time she appeared in court. This time, she was on Zoom. She wanted an extension of time for a court date, but for her type of case, she needs a judge's prior approval. Of course, she was upset by this. So she asks for the soup. Luckily, we had a new soup that always had our backs. She told Karen no and that she needs to follow policies like everyone else. I work at a vet clinic. Since COVID, when people adopted loads of pets, apt wait times have exploded industry-wide. My clinic also has the distinction of being one of the only practices that sees exotic pets, anything not cat or dog, like birds, reptiles, and rodents, within a 60-mile radius, so our apt wait time reflects that level of demand. Some of our clients who've been with us since before the new millennium haven't been able to get used to the new wait time, and things were just starting to get a bit better in the last few months, but then as summer got closer, everyone wanted to get dog-cat vaccines updated so they can board travel with pets for vacation. This interaction happened last week. Me, thank you for calling. Clinic, how may I help you? Karen, I need to get my dog in for vaccines. I'm leaving the state next week and need the certificate to cross state lines. Me, looks up her account. Our vaccine apps are actually out about 3 weeks right now, but lucky for you, your dog also needs an annual exam with the doctor. Exam apps are only out a little over a week and we can do vaccines at the same time. What day are you leaving? K, Wednesday morning. Name, oh, I don't have anything till Friday. K, it takes all of 3 seconds to inject my dog with the vaccine. Can't you just do it? Name, ma'am, your dog does also need an annual checkup with the vet, which is a full physical that we legally have to do in order to administer vaccines. Also, we have a wait list right now for cancellations, so there's about 20 people all waiting for apps for simple injections. K, are all those people going out of state on Wednesday? Me, ma'am, we all have our own personal emergencies and needs and life stories. I can tell you most of the patients on our wait list are suffering horrible seasonal allergies and need a shot to stop scratching themselves bleeding. We just have limited time and staff to get everyone in. Kay does, coworker, still work there. Me, she does. She just got off shift right now. Coworker would not have pulled Karen any strings, which I knew, but she confirmed for me when I told her about it the next day. K, and what about name of someone who has never worked here? Me, no one has ever been here by that name. K, no, I know it was. Name, she has reddish hair. Name, ma'am, I'm the only redhead who works here. Do you mean my name, which could be close to what she said if her memory was bad? K, no, definitely not. I just wanted to see how much turnover there had been since last time I was there. Oh, well, put me on the cancellation list. I'm sure other clinic will act like they actually want my business, though, so don't be surprised if you get a request to transfer my records. Me, knowing we never call wait list people unless they're on the schedule for a future apt, but Karen's already hanging up. Okay, bye. We are consistently overbooked to the point of having to refer good clients, who don't treat us like crap, to emergency vets. We had to stop taking new clients for about 6 months. We're fine weeding out the Karens from our client roster. Also, I'm still convinced she was remembering me as a nice employee before and just getting my name wrong, which I find hilarious. You're totally right, Karen. This place has definitely gone downhill ever since they replaced me with me. I, 26 female, live in a rented house with a single mother, 30 female, and her son, 6 male. I had another person living with me, but they moved out and the mother moved in. I don't mind living with her and her kid. It's fine and we kind of do our own thing. I spend a lot of time at my boyfriend's place or working. Our work schedules collide, so we really don't interact much, but when we do, it's fine. No issue there. I want to start with saying that she clearly struggles financially, but I don't think it's an excuse. I don't make lots of money either. However, I've noticed that my food would go missing or portions would be taken from it. I assumed it was her kid, so I asked her if she'd stop him from eating my food. I was calm about it, and she just said she would. It didn't really upset me when it first started. It started getting annoying when I'd get home from work and expect to have a meal's worth of leftovers in the fridge only to see it picked through or just gone. I kept bringing it up and she started getting annoyed with me bringing it up. Just from observing them, I realized that neither of them ever eat vegetables, and judging by the food that would get picked through and the food that would be untouched, anything with green in it was avoided. Orange chicken would be gone, but chicken and broccoli would be untouched. So I started putting vegetables in everything. I find vegetables to be delicious, and anything green or not a potato does not get eaten, so I could mix some bell peppers into the food, and it would be fine. I make a big portion of vegetables pretty frequently anyway, so I just started putting it in everything I eat. If I had leftover mashed potatoes, I'd pour green beans in and mix it up. If I had leftover cheesy bacon fries, I'd pour broccoli all over it and mix it in. Usually, my homemade stuff has vegetables in it, but I started making sure everything did. I made a pot of mac and cheese, the kids' favorite thing, and poured in roasted Brussels sprouts, which is actually delicious to me, and I'm eating more vegetables, so it's a win-win. She had been seeming annoyed, but we were all home when I made the pot of mac and cheese. She was in the living room and saw me get out the Brussels sprouts and was like, "What are you going to do with that?" And I poured them in. She said I was being greedy and annoying. I just said, I like Brussels sprouts, and that was it. She said we need food, and I told her to go get some, or stop buying only pre-packaged things and your money will go further. I think she sees this as some big act of revenge, but I just simply want to be able to eat my food. Also want to add that the sharing is not the issue. It's expecting to have food there and it's not. So often, I'd be working a long day and get home expecting to have a meal's worth of food and it all be gone. Or I wake up in a rush and had my food ready to eat in the morning only to find it gone. So now I have to skip breakfast. If she would simply text sometimes, "Hey, is it okay if we eat food item?" I would know and know to make other plans. I would stop for food or know I have to whip something up when I get home. Also, I think eating the last of someone else's food is crazy and rude. If someone makes a big pot of something and you ask for a serving, sure. But if someone made something and there is one serving left and you eat it without permission, that is evil as hell. This was a few years ago when I was still in contact with my mother, the EM. I'm proud to say I've went very low contact since then. So when I first started college, I would split the weekends between both of my parents. I would stay overnight Friday at my dad's since he and my paternal grandparents were the only ones who would offer to pick me up and then stay Saturday overnight at my mom's. After I got to my dad's, my mom supposedly really wanted to talk to me about setting up loans in person to make it easier. I had a very high GPA and a really high ACT score, so aid covered quite a bit of my expenses. But there was still about another $4,000 a year we just couldn't cover. Since my grandparents offered to pay the full $2,000 of one semester, we just needed to set up a loan for the remaining $2,000. When we get there, she wants to talk to me alone about my loans, leaving my dad out on the porch. When I sit down, she has the aid website pulled up and is logged into her parent account. She then says that we need to log me in to accept the amount of aid. I say, sure, let me make sure we have the right amount. She is trying to take out a loan in my name for $8,000, but the website required my permission. We can't even afford the $2,000 as 3 people with our own incomes, so I ask her why the hell she's trying to take out a loan for that much. Her answer, well, I figured we could take a better vacation this year, and then we can all make payments on it. Now, parents have been divorced for years. Dad has never been invited on a family vacation, but he would have needed to pay more than $2,500 himself for a vacation he can't take. Not only that, but I'm a student with no income for half the year. When I asked how we were supposed to afford to pay that back, she wanted my paternal grandparents to cover what me and Dad couldn't, and she would play the lottery, and if that didn't work, they could pick up her remaining debt. Needless to say, she was dumbstruck and pissed to hear that I wouldn't authorize that loan and that any loan in my name would go only to my schooling. So, to get me back, she backs out of paying my loans. I say fine, I didn't want her or Dad to, anyways, because my little brother needs to be their focus. Well, this makes it worse, and she kicks me out, tells me I'll be homeless, with my dad waiting outside to take me home. Shockingly, it didn't have the effect she wanted it to. So I, 15 male, have a whole host of things wrong with my head, but the biggest is anxiety. It's almost taken over my life. I've had it for almost as long as I can remember, and my mom knows about it. So, a few months ago, it started feeling weird to breathe. It wasn't hard, and I don't feel tired or anything, but I was still concerned. I've also felt random tingling in my arms if they're in the same position for just like 10 seconds, and full, dull chest pain. It's still happening to this day. I've tried to eat less junk food, be more active, etc., etc. I informed my mom, and this is what she had to say. Oh, you're completely fine. It's just your anxiety. Nee, yeah, maybe, but I haven't been to an appointment in forever with my neurologist or doctor. When can you take me? Just remind me, and I'll schedule it tomorrow morning. That was in February. She hadn't scheduled crap, and I've reminded her. She also decided that for the 1 week I was doing well, she wouldn't pick up my prescription and would try and get me off medications because clearly you don't need them anymore. I'm lost, flustered, and slightly convinced something unhealthy is going on with me. What do I do?